Okay, good afternoon. Today we will be discussing about functional group interconversion. We have seen some of the examples where we used this FGI, functional group interconversion, already yesterday's class. So before going into this functional group interconversion, we will just recap. Okay, yesterday what we saw in the retrosynthetic analysis part. So we took this molecule as an example and we did the retrosynthetic analysis by doing disconnecting all the possible bonds one by one to arrive at the right starting material to carry out the forward reactions. So yesterday I did a small mistake over here, the last slide. Instead of showing this as the first breaking bond, I showed the wiggly bond over here. So make it correct. Make this is the first bond you are breaking, and this is the second bond, and this one the third bond. So all others are correct only here I did a small mistake. Okay, so then after all the analysis, then we came to the conclusion that this molecule can be synthesized from this starting material. So that's what we saw yesterday. So, and in the yesterday class we learned the three guidelines. What are those guidelines? The first one is we should always disconnect in the alkyl side. The next is we should disconnect if you have heteroatom, then you should connect next to heteroatom. Then third one is if you have hemoselectivity problem, then we have to find which one is more reactive, that should be disconnected first compared to the less reactive one. This is what we learned in yesterday class. So today we will using those guidelines, we how to reach the target molecule. That's what we learned yesterday. Today we will learn about functional group interconversion. So where to use this functional group interconversion? First, what is functional group interconversion? Functional group interconversion is a process of converting one functional group into another during retrosynthetic analysis. Okay, so suppose yesterday we saw an example, we converted yesterday into acid. Okay, like that today we will learn about how to convert one functional group into another functional group, why we are converting that, and what is the use of that conversion. So mostly we will be using these oxidations, reductions and substitutions for this functional group interconversion. Okay, so mostly these three reactions will be used for this functional group interconversion purpose. Okay, so what why we are doing this functional group interconversion? So already we said that whenever we do a disconnection, the disconnection should give, when you do the forward reaction, it should be a workable reaction. That means that bond we broke should be formed easily. That should be from the known chemistry, already known reaction. Otherwise there is no meaning in breaking the bond. So where we use this disconnection means whenever we face such kind of problems where we cannot do the real workable reaction, reverse to the disconnections, there we will be using this functional group interconversion. That will give a good disconnection. Okay, so functional group interconversion is converting one functional group into another functional group That will be done mostly by the oxidation, reduction and substitution reactions, where we will be using wherever we cannot do the reverse of real workable reactions when you do the disconnections. So for that make it easier one, we change that difficult which we face the difficulty with that functional group, we convert in the another functional group so that we can have a disconnection. Okay. So we will see the retrosynthetic analysis using an aromatic ester. So we will take this compound, para-amino substituted an ester, ethyl benzoate molecule. See here already we saw in the guidelines that we cannot do disconnection, we don't do here because it's connected to aromatic. So whenever we see a heteroatom, should disconnect next to heteroatom, that's what we learned. But here we don't do because it's connected to aromatic ring. Here also we don't do because it's connected to aromatic ring. The heteroatom is connected to carbon, so we can do disconnection over here. This is a molecule called benzocaine. Is used as a local for a local anesthetic in case of oral ulcer or in some of the cough drops. This molecule has been used as a anesthetic. Okay. So here we can do the disconnections in the ester bond. Okay, CO bond. So if you do that disconnection, what will get as a synthone? It will be a positive charge over here, negative charge over here. So this will be electrophile, this will be a nucleophile. So automatically we can say that we can get that molecule from these two by reacting this acid and alcohol. Simple esterification. Okay, that's we have seen already in the last class. So we know that esters are made from alcohol and acid. So using that chemistry, we did this disconnection. Okay. So now we can look up on this acid and the amine, whether we can do disconnection over there. We said that if it is carbon is connected to a this aromatic ring, then it's very difficult to do that disconnection, but still we can do. If you look at carefully, even though we don't have good reverse reaction for this disconnection, after we do the disconnection over here, we don't have any real reactions over here, but we can solve we can do this disconnection using the functional group interconversion. Okay, so what is that disconnection? If suppose we take this this bond, CC bond, which is between the acid and the aromatic ring. So if you disconnect that, then we don't have any real reaction here. Directly we cannot do any carboxylation on this benzene ring. And if you take this also, we cannot do the amination directly, isn't it? There is no such reaction that we do amination on the aromatic ring. So how do you do the disconnection? How to use? Here is the need for the functional group interconversion is coming in. Okay, so the retrosynthetic analysis part 2, we are using the functional. First one we did the disconnection over the ester, so that we can synthesize this one from the acid and the alcohol. Okay, the second one we are doing on the aromatic the bond connected to the heteroatom, the aromatic thing connected to the acid group. So where we are using the functional group interconversion. So now we have this molecule. Then we have to change, because we know that we don't have any reaction that directly we can introduce the amine group or the acid group in the aromatic ring. So it's very difficult. So we change these functional groups into other, which can be disconnected acceptably. That means when you disconnect the bond, you should be able to make the bond when you do the forward reaction. So that means it should be acceptable bond breaking. Okay, So we have to convert this amine and the acid into some other functional group, so that we can do the disconnection. First you take the amine group, okay, that can be made from the nitro group. We know that reaction. If you have nitro group over there, we can do reduction, so that we will get the amine. So we are converting the functional group interconversion. When you do put the double arrow mark for the disconnection, we have to write FGIO in the top. That you are saying that we are converting the functional group into the another functional group. So we are converting here the amine into nitro. So that means in the forward reaction we can synthesize the amine, we can get the amine from the nitro group by simple reduction. Okay. So this and the below the arrow mark we can write down as reduction, because this reaction, when you do the forward reaction, it is based on the reduction reaction. Okay, so the top we write functional group interconversion. That interconversion is based on the reduction reaction, that you write in the bottom of the reaction. So the second part, so now we convert the amine into nitro group for our convenience. Okay, so then the next one, the acid group, that also we can convert into and methyl group. The aromatic acids can be made by the oxidation of methyl group, that we know, it's in the known chemistry. So we are using that chemistry to convert for the disconnection of the acid groups. So first we converting the acid group into the methyl through the functional group interconversion. Here we are using oxidation, simple oxidation, we can convert the methyl into acid. So we are writing the top functional group interconversion, because we are converting this acid into methyl. Then here in the bottom we are writing as a oxidation, because the reaction is being carried out using the oxidation. Okay, now we are going for the third analysis, third part. First we converted the ester into acid, then we are converting the amine and acid into the amine into the nitro group and the acid into the methyl group using the oxidation reduction chemistry. Okay, now we end up with this molecule, okay, para-nitrotoluene. Then how to further break down the go for the disconnection and arrive at the simple molecule. Now the disconnection of the nitro group is rational, because its nitration is already very known reaction, very simple reaction. So we can disconnect now. Yes, the reaction is known, the nitration on the aromatic ring. So in the UG also you have done the nitration, in the PG also you have done the nitration in the laboratory. Okay, simple nitration we can do. So we are breaking the CN bond in the electrosynthetic analysis. So nitration of toluene occurs easily. So the toluene is already available one. So we already arrive at the available simple molecule, that is toluene. So from this toluene you can synthesize 4-nitrotoluene through nitration. So it's known simple easily from the easily available toluene. Okay, so now you combine all this analysis and write down the forward reaction as we did yesterday for the target molecule. Okay, now we did all the analysis, how to do the functional group interconversion, why we are doing that. Then after all the breaking possible breaking down, we arrive at the simple molecule, that is toluene. Now you go for the forward synthesis. So we start the synthesis from the toluene. So first we are doing the nitration using nitric acid and sulfuric acid. We get the 4-nitrotoluene. Then you do oxidation. See, we are writing forward synthesis, so we have to come from the back, the last one what you did in the disconnections. Okay, so then we are doing the oxidation using KMnO4, so that you get the benzoic acid, what 4-nitrobenzoic acid. This methyl is converted in the acid group. Then so first nitration, then oxidation, then we are doing the reduction on the nitro group to convert into the amines. Okay, So now using the reduction reaction we are converting nitro into the amine group. So now we end up with the para amino benzoic acid, PABA. It's popularly called as a PABA. It's very biologically very important molecule. Okay, so then we do the esterification. So that's what we did in the first when you do the disconnection. So finally you arrive at the target molecule. Okay, so even though it's a, so how to do the disconnection on benzocaine and arrive at the starting simply available starting material. So we did all the analysis using the functional group interconversion. We did all the disconnections. We found out that toluene might be the good starting material, easily available starting material from where we can synthesize this benzocaine through all these 4 steps, simple known chemistry. So like that we have to do. So now we know about the 4 guidelines. Okay, first one, you have to disconnect next the alkyl side. If you have alkyl and aryl, then you have to disconnect next to the heteroatom. The third one is, if you have chemoselectivity problem, then you have to find out which one you have to break the first, which bond you have to break first, after looking the reactivity, which one is more reactive, then you have to add that bond first before the less reactive one. The fourth one is, whenever you cannot do such kind of disconnection, then you have to look for the functional group interconversion. So here we fully use this functional group interconversion. See, so all the transformations here over here is based on the functional group interconversion only. Okay, so it's a very effective method where you cannot do directly the disconnection on the given target molecule. Okay, so you have to little bit remember about the basic transformation on the functional groups and the reagents. Okay, so then another possible way also there, where you will be using the functional group interconversion. So the functional group interconversion for chemoselectivity problem also we can use, like what we learned yesterday, where when we have a chemoselectivity problem, we looked upon the reactivity of the molecule. Okay, then we did the disconnection, the priority of disconnection based on the chemoselectivity, the reactivity of that particular bond. Okay, so now we are if you have the same chemoselectivity problem, then we can use in that case the functional group interconversion. Okay, so where the compounds to be disconnected are more reactive than reactant. Here the point is that yesterday what we did during the disconnection in the last class, during the disconnections, if we found out that it's very difficult to carry out a reaction on some side, because it looks more reactive than compared to the making the other bond, then we give the priority to break the more reactive bond first. Okay, here it depends on the reactivity of the starting compound and the target compound, or starting and the next step product. Suppose if the disconnected bond is more reactive than the reactant, okay, so you are converting the reactant to the product. Suppose the product is more reactive, means then you cannot have the desired product. Okay, it will again go on reacting further. Okay, that we will see where we can use this functional group interconversion in that case. So what is the solution? Suppose if you have such a problem, that means when your product is more reactive than the reactant, then you are using the functional group interconversion. How you are using? First you have to convert that compound, what you are going to disconnect, you have to convert that into a less reactive one. Okay, by this functional group interconversion before you are doing the disconnection. So last class what we saw, that already the two reactive centers are there, there we are selecting, we are finding out which one is more reactive, then we are disconnecting first. That's what we saw in the yesterday's class, how to solve the chemoselectivity problem. In that case, here if the reactant is less reactive than the product, then the product has to be converted into the less reactive first. Now here what problem we have, the product is more reactive, so we have to convert that product into less reactive functional group before you doing the disconnection. Okay, this is what you have to remember here. So we are using this functional group interconversion where we have the target molecule which is more reactive than the starting material. Okay, so for example, you take this amine as a target molecule, you are given this amine as a target molecule. Okay, it is a secondary amine, isn't it? It is a secondary amine. Okay, now if you do the retrosynthesis, the disconnection over here, the both side we have CN bond, so we can disconnect anywhere. Yes, both side we have alkyl only. So if you disconnect this amine over here, okay, the right side, the CN bond you are breaking, then you will have the reagents, that the synthetic equivalents for this is the primary amine and alkyl halide, okay, within a leaving group. This is electrophile, nucleophile. So it will replace the leaving group and making this bond in the forward reaction. Okay, now when you do disconnection on one side of this secondary amine, the starting material will be the primary amine. So the target, the starting material will be a primary amine. Okay, the starting material. So now if you, so it's a secondary amine, remember that it's a primary amine. So which one is more reactive? Yes, the secondary amine is more reactive because here you have more electron density. Okay, so automatically the electron density is more over this nitrogen than this nitrogen, so it is more basic, that is more reactive compared to the primary amine. So here it's more reactive. What happens when, suppose if you are taking this starting material and reacting here, so you will have a problem. What kind of problem? A danger of multiple alkylation. So it will undergo one time alkylation over here. Again it's after forming the secondary amine, it's more reactive now compared to this primary amine. The secondary amine becomes more reactive, okay, more basic. Again it will undergo the substitution reaction here, one more alkylation will happen. So you cannot stop over here because this secondary amine is more reactive this primary amine. So here the problem is you cannot stop only after a single alkylation, it will further undergo the alkylation, multiple alkylation. So what is the solution then? Here the solution is the functional group interconversion. We have seen already that if you find out that that target molecule is more reactive than a starting material, then you have to use the functional group interconversion. That means you have to convert this more reactive target molecule into a less reactive target molecule first before you going for the disconnection. Okay, so here the point is that the reactive secondary amine functional group should be converted into a less reactive functional group. That's what we found out after this analysis. Okay, so how to use this functional group interconversion to solve this problem? So approach 1, suppose, so we have to do this one before disconnection. Okay, because if you once you did the disconnection, this more reactive problem is there, chemoselectivity problem. So you have to first convert the more reactive amine into a less reactive one before you going for the disconnection. So what the secondary amine, reactive secondary amine should be converted into the less reactive amide. First we are approaching this way. So first we are converting the secondary amine in the less reactive amide. Okay, so let's take this approach 1. This is target molecule secondary amine. We are converting this into the amide. See, the amine is converted into amide. Amide is less reactive compared to the amine. So we are doing functional group interconversion using the reduction reaction, because we can get this amine from this amide by doing the reduction. You can get the amine. Okay, so now you can do the disconnection. So what we did before disconnection, you have to make this change. If you found that the target is more reactive than the starting material, you have to convert the more reactive one into the less reactive one. Here we are converting the more reactive target into the less reactive amide, then you go for the disconnection. So here we are disconnecting this bond, CN bond. Here yes, we have to disconnect the hetero carbon bond. We can easily disconnect now. So the starting materials will be the amine and the amine and from an acid chloride. Okay, if you disconnect over here, this will be the nucleophile, this will be the electrophile. So in the forward direction, you can easily get the amide from these two synthetic equivalents. Okay, so here we are using the reduction reaction, isn't it? The reduction reaction, the amide can be converted into the amine using the LAH, lithium aluminum hydride. So using that reagent, you can easily reduce this amide into amine. This chemistry we used before you going further, so that we first convert the more reactive amine into the amide, keeping in mind that we can easily convert this amide into amine in the last step. Okay, then we do the disconnection. Okay, so now you can go for the second approach. Now you can know that easily you can do the forward reaction, isn't it? Take the amine, acid chloride, the first step you will get this amide, then the second step you do the reduction, you will get the amine, the secondary amine target molecule. Okay, okay. The second approach, the other way also you can approach the same methodology. So we have to do this conversion, that means the functional group interconversion. Why we are using? We are using because the target molecule is more reactive, so we are first converting the more reactive amine to the less reactive one. Here in the first approach, we convert this secondary amine into amide, which is less reactive than this target molecule. So in this first approach, we are thinking that the amide, we are using the chemistry that the amide is less reactive than amine. That amine can be easily synthesized for the amide through the reduction using the lithium aluminum hydride. Okay, the second approach, the same thing. Before disconnection, we are converting the reactive secondary amine into a less reactive imine. In the last case, we converted in the amide. Here we can convert imine to imine also. So let's take this approach 2. So now the target molecule secondary amine is converted into the imine in the retrosynthetic analysis, means in the disconnection using the functional group interconversion. Here also we are using the chemistry reduction. Okay, so easily you can get this amine from this imine by simple reduction over here. If you do the reduction, you will get the amine. So now you can break this CN bond. Okay, over here, so that you will get the starting materials, that means the reagents, the synthetic equivalents will be the amine, this nucleophile part, then electrophile part. So easily to undergo condensation. When you treat the amine with an aldehyde, you will get the imine. It's very simple known reaction. Okay, so here we are using the reduction reaction, amide into amine. Here amide into, not amide, sorry, here I have did a mistake, it's not amide, imine. You correct it. The imine is being can be converted into amine using sodium borohydride. Okay, so so I will change that into imine. Okay, okay. So now, as we did for the approach 1, here also we are converting the secondary amine into the less reactive imine. Then we do the disconnection in the CN bond to get the right starting material, the amine and the aldehyde. So here we use the reduction chemistry, but the reagent is different. Then the last case we use lithium aluminum hydride, and that's a known one. We can easily convert an amide into amine using the lithium aluminum hydride. Here also using the reduction chemistry, but here we can use sodium borohydride. It's comparatively slow reducing reagent, means in a soft reducing reagent. So it's highly reactive compared to the amide, the imine, but not that reactive as the amine. Okay, so here we can use sodium borohydride to reduce the imine into the amine. Okay, so now you know that why we are using functional group interconversion. What is mean by functional group interconversion? Why we are using that? What are the cases? What are the situation we are using? We already saw in the first example that whenever we cannot do the disconnection, as we do looking for the real workable reaction, we don't find any such reaction, then we are converting the existing functional group into another functional group, so that you can do the disconnection. Then you can convert that functional group into the target functional group in the last step. In the another problem where you can use the functional group interconversion is that where you face the chemoselectivity problem. That means the target molecules what you are going to synthesize or what you are given for the analysis, if you find out that is more reactive than the starting compound, then you cannot get the target molecule when you do the forward synthesis, because more reactive. It won't stop there by attaching the alkylation. In this case only single alkylation, it will further react to give the complicated so number of products. Okay, that what we don't want in that reactions. So to solve that problem, we have to convert this that more reactive target molecule into a less reactive one. That means the functional group is converted into another functional group which is less reactive compared to the functional group present in the target molecule. Then you do the disconnection. Okay, then we know that the final stage that can be converted into the target molecule. So I think you understood the chemistry behind the functional group interconversion. It's very simple only. It's all what all the reaction we have seen over here is based on the existing chemistry only. Okay, so with that I stop this today's lecture. Students can ask